Hello and welcome to Carbitrage Podcast episode 90. I am Erik Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello, sir.
Hey, what are we still on 5 frames per second for the main camera?
Sure are.
Why don't we? Can we turn like maybe yours to 5 frames per second and the main camera be like I don't know 15 or 30?
We could turn yours to 1 and then the main still won't go higher.
Well, because I move a lot.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I just tried that in the last episode. I don't know what's wrong. I don't really feel like spending money on a secondary USB card, so
That's fair. Yeah.
there's
Anyway.
that.
So, hi, welcome to Carbitrage.
Thank you, audio listeners, for bearing with us.
I'm sorry for the awful opening, and I hope you haven't turned this off immediately because it's going to be a great episode.
If you haven't, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. If you haven't, you're in for a treat because today we are doing the $40,000 Italian car challenge.
Italian car challenge.
Yes.
We are in the United States of America.
So these are the rules. You have $40,000 to spend on an Italian car. Obviously, since it's Italian, it will not be a daily driver.
I'm shocked.
But for that price range, that's the upper end of middle class affordable. I mean, that's
Yes.
yeah, because
That's a dink, healthy car budget for
Yeah.
something fun.
if you're trying to get something fun, if you're upper middle class and you're getting one classic investment car,
Yep.
$40,000 is like the absolute limit.
Yep.
And what do you buy?
Well, since we have them written down in order, I'm
Oh.
going to have you go first
Okay.
with your pick.
So mine, I chose the Lancia Fulvia.
Oh, that's the one with the beautiful V4, isn't it?
It's the V4, the 60s cars. That's really the only rally icon that you can get for an affordable price now. Because, well, I guess there may be an original Mini.
I did
'cause
not
it made
know
those
these
forever.
were so reasonable.
Yeah, they're really reasonably priced. Like, that's the most sought-after one.
Yeah.
And
This is
that's-
probably a real rally car.
Yeah, that's, like, the most desirable of the desirable. It's the HF Fanalone, 1.6 liter. It's, like, if you were getting a Fulvia, that's the E30 M3 of Fulvias.
And the price reflects it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you go to the more normal ones, I would say check out the Zagato, because the Zagato has the same engine.
Oops.
That's a 1.3, but still the 1.3, $16,000.
Yeah, that's a clean looking car. That's
Yeah,
a
that's-
really cool, clean car.
Yeah, that's a great
For
car.
16 grand.
I would get the Zagato actually, because
So ugly.
I don't think it's ugly.
Blech.
I really,
Ick.
I think as far as
Ew.
Zagato designs go, I think that the Zagato.
It's pretty restrained as far as that goes. Here we go. One that looks like the race car and isn't. $17,000. Mint.
Sorry, that was my phone.
No worries.
So, yeah, I would say that. And because, I mean, other than like a Mini Cooper,
Yeah.
like the original Mini, like that's the only rally icon you can get. Because this car was pretty much undefeated for a long time. And the car that defeated it was the Stratos. So,
That was, refresh my mind, that was also made by,
Lancia.
Lancia, that's right.
Lancia,
Mhm.
yeah, or
And then-
Lancia.
and then after the Stratos, I believe it was
Another
037?
Yeah, another Lancia.
another
yes.
Lancia. Okay, yeah,
So-
okay.
This is really like if you like Italian cars, you are a fool to look past the Fulvia. Because
This is way cheaper than an 8-valve Delta Integrale.
yes,
Way cheaper.
way cheaper.
And I'm talking 8-valve too. I'm not talking 16-valve.
It's like a shitload better. Like it's all right. I do have to say, I'm gonna put this out there. It is front wheel drive,
Right.
but
Look at that beautiful engine.
it has an insanely stiff rear end, so it kicks the ass out like a rear wheel drive.
So he has no weight in the back end of these.
No,
at all.
none. So it was front wheel drive to get around corners.
Mm-hmm.
When the rear, if it was a rear wheel drive, if you've ever rear wheel drive swapped one in say Forza, you realize that you immediately are driving in reverse. These cars are just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, gross. Sorry. I had to click on that. I thought it was an M5.
You're an absolute fool to look past these cars.
That's beautiful. These are just gorgeous.
And if you want a car that's like, still got some legs to grow on value, the Fulvias really do. Because, it's one of those cars where I don't know why they're not worth more. Like, there's no reason that these should be worth as little as they are. Because, I mean, it's a beautiful car. If you
And
want
they're
to...
actually not that unreliable. Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, as far as an Italian car, it's about as reliable as an Italian car can get. But I think they sound amazing. They have, I think, one of the best rear ends, or front ends, rather.
Yeah, the front end's beautiful, and I think the 76 is the one you want. I think they changed it a little bit.
Yeah, the rear ends look pretty good, too.
It's got a very unique proportion.
Yeah, and for being a coupe, I know that you hate coupes.
I hate coupes. This thing's beautiful, though.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Oh, look at the late 60s.
The late 60s one, that's what I was thinking of, where you had the massive headlights, the oversized headlights. It just looks right.
Wow.
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 Yeah,
Wow.
This is the car that Owen Wilson would buy.
Maybe.
Yeah, when you get one with the white, with like
That
color
rear
match,
end's not as good.
I like it with color match. It reminds me of a.
Well, it's the taillights I don't like.
I like the taillights because it reminds me of a Hino Contessa, which is like one of my favorite Japanese cars of the '60s.
Okay.
It's just a gorgeous rear end.
I love those wheels.
Yeah, the wheels are great. The interior is great. It's just a fantastic little car.
That's oddly appealing.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even look at your choice when I typed mine in. I just read the challenge.
Everybody just does not give these the time of day. And there was one at Wheels of Italy this year.
Did I miss that? I
I tried to get everybody to get jazzed about it, but everybody was too busy.
I think I came too late to see
No,
that.
it was there the entire show.
Oops.
I tried to get you to go look at it.
Oh, dude, here's a 60s one that sold for $14,000.
I know. And the thing is,
Beautiful.
there's two things I really like about this car. Because if you really like a 60s car, you get this. If you're super into like 70s or even early 80s, you get the Zagato. Like,
Zagato's disgusting.
I love it. But I mean, that's the thing is like, this car has two very distinct body styles that are based off the exact same car, and they appeal to totally different sections of the market. And yeah, I think it's just a great car. And yeah, so
I agree. I have no contention.
I think that these are just ridiculously underappreciated. Like I don't get why people don't, because this car's racing pedigree.
Yeah. Oh,
this is
incredible.
It's got the racing pedigree of a $100,000 car. So yeah, this is totally one I'd get.
I suddenly want one of these.
Yeah, I've been telling everybody that they should get one like now. Like, it's a great car. Yeah.
I mean, again, I've got nothing. That sounds like a great idea.
That's a really, really good car.
I have no beef with your choice. However, I chose something a little bit different.
What did you choose?
Well, you know me. I'm a huge fan of the 1990s.
Yes.
So I picked something that started actually in the mid-80s, but I chose a Series 2 Lancia Thema 832. And what that is, it is basically a Volvo with a Ducati-built Ferrari 308 engine and 5-speed manual transaxle transaxle in the front.
That's not a bad choice.
A nice one is $20,000, and there has never been one sold at auction in this country before ever.
Well, they haven't been eligible for.
They've been import legal for 7 years.
Really?
Not the Series 2. This one has only been legal for 3 years. But they've got this.
That angle, I like the front end a lot more.
They've got a hilarious rectangular yellow badge on it that's just in like Times New Roman. It just says 8:32.
I love that.
And it's all over the car.
Can I look at the rear end? That's an active spoiler,
spoiler.
too. Yes, it's an active spoiler. I do know that. I really like that rear end.
I kind of want an 832.
I would get one.
Honestly, they're so cheap.
The rear end reminds me of a Lotus Carlton. The only
Yep.
thing is those are front-wheel drive.
They are, which sucks. Both of our picks are oddly front-wheel drive vehicles.
It's weird. It's like Italians make like the occasional, like if they make a front-wheel drive car, it's kick-ass.
Yeah, and like I'm not choosing a bi-turbo. Screw that.
No, no, not at all.
But like it's got a nice instrument. The seats look comfy. Just and yeah. Did I mention that there's a 3-liter 32-valve Ferrari-derived Ducati-built engine?
If you
in the
want
front?
a Ferrari 308 engine,
Yeah.
on the cheap, you get a Lancia Thema 832.
And there's the badge.
It is literally Times New Roman.
It is Times New Roman. They took no treatment to it at all. Nothing fancy. But yeah, it just says Lancia by Ferrari on the top. And that literally is just a 308 with a little bit different block.
That's great.
And this guy has a lot of stuff.
You know,
But anyway, this
Another
car
thing-
is currently for sale for 16,800 pounds, and it just had its engine out done.
if you have, I'm waiting for somebody on the Mondial Challenge to say, I'll take a 308 engine out of a Lancia
Do a
Thema.
Thema swap.
I'll take the exact same engine, but for $18,000.
Technically, that's a legal swap.
It is totally within the rules of the challenge that you can use a Lancia Thema engine. It will work fine. And I feel like the day that the Mondial finally tips over $45,000, you'll start seeing people import these in terrible body condition, but with a fine engine, and just use them as donors.
These
for
are rarer
Mondials.
than the GRMN Yaris.
Really? How many did they make?
Fewer than 1,000 total.
Ooh, yeah, that's not going to happen then. Sorry, Mondial, you were still SOL for ever being restored properly.
And it's got the typical Italian gauges that never drop below the lowest increment above 0. Every Italian car is like that.
That's
don't know
really
why.
funny.
Yeah, like the 355 right now is doing 20 miles an hour and 500 RPM.
I love that. That's really cool, actually.
Italians are just so quirky, but yeah, that's my pick. Like I said, you could buy this car and have it imported and registered for $20,000 US.
God, that's a really good deal. Yeah, both of our picks. And the whole thing is...
Damn your challenge, Ryan. We both came up with cars we both really want.
I know. You know, the thing is they are... these are cars that bring a smile to your face.
They are.
This is...
I guarantee they're both hilarious to drive.
It's not necessarily a good car. It's a car that brings a smile to your face.
It's way worse than an E34 540i.
Oh,
it's just
but-
tons worse.
And you're going to smile when you're on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck because you have a Lancia Thema 832. It's going to be fine because it's going to
I
be...
almost shot Bauhaus all over the mixer.
It's like, that's exactly what that is. That's a car that you smile about.
Seriously, like I might look into one of those.
I would. I would either get that or a Fulvia. I mean, either way. I mean, you're going to get a much better shot at getting a Fulvia.
You're right. There's so many here already.
Yeah.
But like, I know, Neil, this is in the UK. It would take me no effort to get that here.
I would get that.
None. Just none. Like, hey, Neil, I'm just going to buy this.
And you know what?
And I'll pay you $2,500.
That car is just reaching public consciousness.
I know.
And I think that'd be a really good idea. Like that.
But I have to get rid of something to get that. It would be the M5, and I don't want to get rid of the M5. I just got that.
No, you can get rid of the Fiat.
That has to go away anyway because I've already replaced it with the Tesla. I'm getting rid of the FJ as well, but that has to go to make room for the 124.
You just got the FJ for a winter vehicle.
Well, I know, but now I don't need it because the Tesla's so good with winter tires. It's ridiculous.
So you get high centered leaving your driveway because they plow once a year.
Yeah, but apparently it doesn't matter because that thing pushes snow better than St. Paul City snowplows.
It's true. I'm trying to think of something you can get rid of.
Brexit?
I would dump Brexit for that.
I think I probably would too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get an 832 instead of Brexit.
That would honestly, I could not find a fault with that.
Imagine going to Wheels of Italy with that and be like,
you could.
what
well,
the hell is this?
That would save. That would serve the exact same purpose of Brexit. There's people going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And that's.
But like Brexit's an E30, but like that's a wagon, and then you open the hood, you're like, oh, sweet Christ.
Well, so Brexit's cool, and it's a wagon, and it turns heads. And I think this would get people up to it,
Yeah.
and they go, "What the hell is this?" And they look at it and go, "Oh,
That says Ferrari on the engine.
yeah, this weird."
And then they'd Google 8.32 Lancia and be like, oh, that is neat.
You could probably get a vanity plate that says like Google it or something. It's just some people go like, "What the hell is this? Why is this some?"
man.
Oh,
FWD4RE.
yeah, exactly. Like it's a front wheel drive 4-door Ferrari. Like that's great.
It's pretty neat. Anyway, yeah, that's there are picks. Those are both really good.
Jana is not here to make a pick. She'll be making hers next week.
Okay.
I'm gonna make 2 guesses at what she would do.
Okay.
I'm gonna say either a Fiat Multipla 500.
So good. Oh, the old ones, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a Jana car.
Oh no, I forgot about the 600 Jolly.
And those are over. Those are worth.
Those are way too much now?
insane-
Okay,
Oh, they're
alright.
6 figures.
Really?
I don't know why, but they are. Yeah.
I would much rather have a pile of 832s and Fulvias.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think my other assumption about what Jana would choose, so you'd be a Fiat Multipa or, oh shoot, there's another one I was thinking about, and then you distracted me.
Sorry.
No, God, what was it? It was like the perfect car too. Shit.
Regular air-cooled Fiat 500?
No, a Topolino.
I definitely know what those are.
Yeah, a Fiat 500 Topolino.
Yeah.
Why don't you throw it on the screen for people? Because I think you can get a Topolino for, under 40 grand, I think. Oh yeah, that's got Jana written all over it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are cheap.
If I was going to the store to buy a $40,000 classic Italian car,
That is so old looking.
it is. But that's the thing. It's in the 50s. It's like, it's a Fiat 500 mechanically. Like, it's fine. But
That's just not cute.
I think it's adorable. Not that front end though. You gotta get the different front end. There's that
The
one right
old
there.
vertical one?
Yeah, you're scrolling. There's one right there.
How old is that?
That's the 30s. 30s to 48.
That one's almost certainly pre-war.
It's almost pre-war. But
Anyway, there's a Lancia
I
Thema
would-
8.
I
Look at
would
the...
s-
They monogrammed the floor mats in Times New Roman.
I love that. They integrated the car phone really well.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's like very well integrated.
All right, Owen Wilson, buy both of those cars.
Yes, and then Jana, I'm gonna say I think a Topolino would be up there. So, wow, just because that car is as cute as a button.
Even has 12 months of MOT. The thing is actually solid.
Burger, you need that car.
I know, I kind of do. 215 horsepower. That's so shitty.
You are buying the least reliable Accord Euro R ever.
Dude, seriously, that's BMW 530i power output.
But it's front wheel drive, so you could get that, or you could get a '93 Accord and put like an H22 into it and make more power and be more reliable. And
832 challenge.
like one hundredth of the level of cool if
And-
you had an H swapped Accord and make more power.
This is also left-hand drive already.
Oh, it is. Look at
It
that.
was imported from Italy in 1998.
Well, that's kind of. Did it make him a right-hand drive?
They did, yep.
I would get the right-hand drive one just because it's a little bit more goofy.
It's
If you can
probably
find
cheaper
one.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. They made almost 4,000 of them. I was wrong. Cool. But anyway, that's my pick.
That's a.
Let's move on
That
to
is a fantastic pick. Great
the
decision.
the competitor vehicle, the BMW 5 Series. That is that's what we're going to cover this week.
Oh, we're doing the actual model history.
We're doing model history.
I'm actually into that.
Sounds good. Well, you're going to be super into, especially the early ones, probably like E28 and E12.
What preceded that? Was that the Batmobile kind of cars, the 3.0 CSLs and stuff?
Yep. Yeah. Well, it was preceded actually by the Bavaria, which was an
Yes,
E3.
the Bavaria. I actually like the Bavaria a lot.
Me too. Yeah,
I think they
it's
look really good. I love
an
that they called it the
incredibly
Bavaria.
modern car. It actually looks more modern than the first gen 5 Series.
It does, yes. I love the Bavaria because German Chris and Jens and Sebastian, they all came from Bavaria. I feel like it'd be hilarious if their father Sven drove a BMW Bavaria.
That would fit him really well, probably.
I also like that Chris is the only person with a normal name. Like, not like a super German name. Like, everybody else's family has a super German name. Yeah.
I guess I only know Chris and Jens.
Chris Pose, yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris, and then there's Jens, and then his youngest brother is Sebastian.
Sebastian.
So they're just like, they're so German. It's like they're painfully German. I love it.
Sorry, I'm trying to just pull up a photo before I get going on this, which is apparently older than the internet because it lacks all pixels. All right, so BMW 5 Series started 1976. The first models we got here in the United States were the 528i and the 528i. This was the era where gray market was really popular, so we did also get 530i. What these were, they were the big block BMW straight six, the M30, but they were super duper de-stroked. So ridiculously over square M30s that would just rev to the moon. And then Nearing the end of the model run, so 1978 to 1981, the M badge was born. It was not born with the M1, like everyone thinks it was. It was
Really?
born with the E12 M535i.
Did the M1 have its engine, or did it have the M1's engine?
Neither.
It had a different engine.
This had an M30 in it still.
Okay.
But it was a hopped up 3.5 liter twin carbs or optional injection.
Gross. No, you got the carbs.
Most of them are injection, actually, come to think of it. But I have seen a twin carb one. Hopefully that wasn't an aftermarket thing. But as you can see, beautiful M color stripes, huge front air dam. This was 1978. That's a pretty modern looking car for 1978. It had a dogleg 5-speed Getrag manual. It had corduroy Recaro seats in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I like this thing. I give it this like thing where it's like, obviously my main thing is I love Japanese cars.
You do.
I go through these periods where I'm like, I nerd out super hard on like one type of car.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. So like pre-war did that for me for a while, and I'm still super into pre-war, even though I'm learning a lot about them. Because I just like to learn about cars. This whole late 70s of German cars is just an enigma to me, and there's so much cool stuff that I don't know about. And that's one of my favorite things about cars. I love finding a kind of car that I don't know about. There's a bunch of cool stuff. So Soviet cars for a long time were that, because they made a lot of cool stuff that nobody knows about. And of course, that's where
communication was pretty much just shut off for those decades.
But I mean, they made really cool things. They weren't performance, but they were cool. But really, German 70s era German cars are very, very quickly gaining interest for me.
The 70s weren't the malaise for cars in Germany they were in the United States,
or in anywhere else.
Pretty much, everywhere else. But that's where we were, and that's where our history comes from.
No, and that's the thing is, in Germany in that era, Germany had always been doing advanced tech,
right?
And kind of the same way Japan was as well. And that advanced tech really kind of set them up to be in the world we're in now, where you get a Japanese or a German car,
right?
Or you're a fool.
As long as you avoid certain cars, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the most part, for rule of thumb, is
right.
if you want something good, you get something imported from Japan or Germany.
You do have a better opportunity for success just randomly buying something Japanese or German than you do with something American.
Exactly. So, and this is that era that really started that, and I love cars like this where it's the first, when it really kind of came to it, or came into this thing, the primordial version of what our cars are.
Right. Yeah, I mean you can see the DNA that isn't there now for BMW because it's all gone. But
I wouldn't even say it's all gone. It's still there.
But some things like the Hofmeister kink and the C-pillar, that's still here.
And
but
that's where it kind of has that little kind of twist thing, that little C shape in the last. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Things like that. Well, I mean, for people that are, into Hondas and stuff, aren't going to know what a Hofmeister kink is, and they'll get very frustrated because everybody keeps saying that. They should know.
Yeah, but I do know what a Hakoska GTR is now or whatever. But
yeah, but you didn't.
Nobody does.
Yeah, but you didn't. Not everybody, and you can't pick some random BMW guy and say, hey, my favorite design cue is the Surfline on a Skyline. Nobody, if you're not in the Skylines, you're not going to know what that is.
Fine.
And, of course, the Surfline is where the rear wheel well arch, instead of folding back over the wheel, it folds over the wheel, but also continues straight into the bumper line. That's what a Surfline is.
I've just fallen asleep, sorry.
Well, just like the Hofmeister kink. It's just one of those weird little things that appears on several cars and becomes really part of the car.
Oh, yeah, the make anyway. Yeah, that wasn't just 5 Series. That was everything. But
yeah, no, well, that's the thing. Yeah,
this might have been the first chassis to bear that. No, the E3 was.
The E3,
the E9, maybe the E10. I don't know. It's been around for a long time. Doesn't matter. So anyway, that was pretty much the only interesting E12 model. The M535i, 78 to 81, really cool. The car ended in 81. 82 brought us the E28. That I will pull up here as well. I'm just going to pull up an E28 M5 so you can see the best of the best.
Yeah, you got to show them the best of it.
And really, some people might argue that the best of the best is an M535 Euro, like that.
Yes.
Because it has much better headlights and stuff, but I'm just going to go in U.S. market for sake of convenience.
The one you can regularly find.
Right, and these are now through the roof. Not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you could pick one of these things up for $9,000.
I remember a few years ago, Chase and Trig picked up a 535i with like a bunch of like Euro tuner parts on it
I remember that car.
for like almost nothing.
Yeah, well, those got down to like $500.
You could get them for nothing. And
Yeah.
well, the thing is, like, once the E30 like it went through the roof, these were next.
Yep.
And to be honest, I think I might like that more than I like an E30 sedan.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's
E30
fine.
Coupe I like more.
Nah.
But I think I like that more in the sedan.
Nah.
Because what I love about these is I love the ridiculous greenhouse on that.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the E28 I had, but it's nowhere near as good as an E30.
Well, I don't think it as far as performance or anything.
No,
I mean,
in
just
general.
I like it. I think the design I like that more.
It's fine.
Because I also like the shark nose hood.
Again, this is a
and
Euro.
grill.
They don't look that good here, but this
Yeah.
one's lowered. It's got the Euro bumper, zero headlights, tinted glass. Looks really good.
That's a properly good looking car.
So yeah, E28s. They added a lot of refinement, some suspension tech. However, underneath, you could bolt for bolt E12, E28 stuff underneath it. So they upgraded it, but they didn't change any of the hard points.
Perfect.
Interiors changed. Obviously, they added the digital onboard computer. They added the 2.7 ADA engine, more sophisticated multi-point fuel injection. They offered the first diesel. Shut up, Echo. The first diesel, the first real M car, so the double overhead cam, basically based on the M88 from the M1 that was in this car.
Okay.
A lot of technology, a lot of things you just don't necessarily pay attention to, but just it's a lot more evolution that happened there, and the revolution things were mainly powertrain. E28 went 1982 to 1987. 1988 brought us the E34, which is my favorite 5 Series.
I would say the E34 is also up there for one of the best looking German cars. Like
It is. It's just so handsome. I mean, they really did a great job.
They did that car very well. Yeah.
So I'm pulling up 1995 540M Sport, and the reason why I'm pulling this up instead of an M5 is they look the same, but they have just a little bit beefier side skirts and a nicer chin spoiler, and they're all 1995, so they get the wider kidney grills, which I prefer. And oh my
Wasn't
god,
that also a Bond car? Or was that the 7 Series?
I don't think either.
No,
there was an E38 Bond car.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
That was an E38.
Oh, it was E38?
Yep,
Okay.
7 Series. So, yeah, the E34, this was the first one to, like, clean slate. They changed all the suspension. Again, very similar geometry, but they revised all of it. This was the last 6-cylinder M5, so this carried forward the S38 engine, S36 in our country. Brakes got much, much bigger. Interiors got, like, real good power seats, heated seats. Projector headlights, airbags. These are the first cars to offer stability and traction control in the large, your common cars you could buy, like the mid-size segment. First car you can have. Stability and traction control. First 6-speed manual transmission with a V8 in a mid-size car. That happened in 1994 with the 540. They had tons and tons and tons of problems with the V8s because our gas at the time in this country was super high sulfur.
Right?
Yeah, it was corrosive, so it would just wipe out the cylinder liners. And you would have a 540 paperweight with no compression.
Perfect.
They warranted all the blocks if you got it in time, so they went from Aliasil to Nicosil, or Nicosil to Aliasil, rather. And then all of the BMW V8s following have been that new liner type. And then our gas is fine now.
All right,
so if you had one of these cars and you didn't put a ton of miles on it and you had the bad block, you still were probably okay.
You know, that's probably be worth a ton of money.
A 540M Sport?
With the one with the
Nicosil block?
Yeah.
I bought one of these for $1,000, 95 6-speed M Sport car.
With the Nicosil block?
Yeah, with the Nicosil in it still. 100,000 miles on it with the M Sport interior and everything.
That'd be
$1,000. Needed a clutch and it was rusty. But no, it had good compression. It was still strong. But like just how times have changed. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean,
that same car is
I'm
a
just
parts
saying
car now.
one of those Nicosil. That's an old one, right? Nicosil.
Nicosil.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think one of those Nicosil engines, just because they were all taken out, and now you can actually use them.
Right.
Now it's gonna be the original engine and everything.
Yep.
Like, if you have one with
like a numbers matching 94 with the Nicosil
if you have
block.
one with under 10,000 miles on it, so like actual collector miles,
Yeah.
then that's gonna be a car worth big money in the future.
Other than the fact that you're buying the 540 and it isn't an M5, but like this particular 540, if you were looking at an M5, honestly, you should really look at these two.
Yeah.
Because the 95s, which these all were, I'm not going to say they all had alucell blocks from the factory, but I'm pretty sure they did.
If you had found with an Excel, I'm sure that'd be just because of how rare it is.
Right. If you could find a really early one that was a 94 build, I'm sure you could find an Excel 540.
It's like with Honda Civics. Like, if you have the right combination of options on like a Civic SIR, you can find a Civic SIR that's worth more, EK SIR, I should say, that's worth more than a Type R.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
Because if you get like the SIR with like the navigation, the mid-wing, and like the right color with the right interior options, like they will be worth more than the equivalent Type R would be.
I believe you, because I mean, this 540 is worth a lot more than some M5s.
Yeah, and most Type Rs were driven into the ground, and most SIRs were, kind of just driven around. Right.
So I mean, you're either gonna find them in terrible or really good condition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of the E34 in a nutshell. I'm skipping obviously a lot of models and a lot of tech changes. This car was offered with the M50 engine, which was by far the highest take rate, and it was a super high-tech engine. So was this V8, which started in '93, also offered 5-speed automatics. Just tons and tons of tech jammed into this really old car.
Was that the first engine to have coil-on-plug ignition?
The M50 was, yes.
M50, okay.
In 1991, yep. This car got the non-Vanos M50 in '92.
Yeah, we talked about that on the 3 Series.
We did, yep. So same thing. The first ever injection molded intake manifold, all that kind of stuff. So very, very, very cool. The V8 carried forward all that technology as well, and then it went to aluminum block. So really on the forefront of tech. The BMW V8 in 1993 was incredible.
Because that was still an iron block?
No.
No, it was aluminum.
First, it was the metal matrix coated aluminum block, so it's just super lightweight. The weight difference between a 525 and a 540 engine was
like nothing.
It was lighter to get the
really?
V8. Yeah.
Huh. That's actually really cool.
Really power dense, but again, we had the fuel issues in this country. So if you find one that's running now, honestly, the main reason why you should probably get a 540 M Sport is you get the better 6-speed transmission, and the parts for these engines fit everything, like 93 to 03.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everything just fits. So, I mean, normally I don't recommend the V8s,
cool.
but these were the good ones. The duplex timing chains, they didn't have any problems with that kind of stuff.
So the 540...
95 540 M Sport.
95 540 M Sport, the only one. Or maybe north of that. 95
If you're going to buy an E34, it needs to be an M5 or a 95 540 M Sport.
So, okay, the exact one. All
right,
right.
That exact one. So
and that was a 1 year only.
It was.
Okay.
You could get a 540 6-speed, 94 95, but they weren't quite as special. So all the driving enjoyment, certainly. I think one of the first cars I rode in that got me interested in cars back in the day was a brand new 94 540i 6-speed that my dad borrowed from a client when he was still driving his E32 750IL, which was also a rad car. But yeah, incredible, really. They're a lot of fun. Moving on, after this, we went to the E39.
The Bond car.
No, this wasn't a Bond car. The E38 7 Series was.
Oh, damn it.
This was the Clive Owen BMW Films car.
I don't know why I really want this to be a Bond car. I feel like it should be. Because it's a really good car.
I mean,
you've got one downstairs.
I do. I was even driving it today to put gas in it because it was really low. So, the E39, 1996, technically 1997 model year here through 2003. The 6-cylinder cars brought us the first ever 5 Series with a rack and pinion steering system, which was nice.
When I think of a BMW,
yeah,
that's the exact body style I think of. Was that?
If somebody says
series.
BMW M5, you just immediately populate.
If you say BMW, I drive a BMW. You just kind of go through your mind like, what do they drive? And it's like, well, not an E30 M3 because that's ridiculous.
It's too expensive now.
Like, and not a G60 or whatever. What's a current body style? F10, F30? No,
I had to Google it and write it. It's G30.
Yeah, G30. So, not a G30 because he's not a fool. Like,
his left leg isn't atrophied.
Yeah. Like, this car is just like what a BMW should be.
It's from the era where they cared, and it was just the best and understated. And like, if somebody pulls up in that, you don't hate them.
So wait, this was the first 5 Series with rack and pinion steering?
The 6-cylinder cars only. The M5 does not have a rack and pinion steering system.
What do they still use that
my car
reciprocating
has
ball thing?
recirculating ball.
What? What's with the Germans doing that?
I don't know. I think it was a space issue because all the V8 cars had recirculating ball.
Okay, because I know
But the 6-cylinder cars,
Mercedes toyed around with doing a.
they stuck with it. Yeah, Mercedes stuck with it through the
comfort.
124.
They wanted the luxurious steering feel.
Yeah, but when they went to W210 and
That's when
220, those are rack cars.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the 6-cylinder cars, they were better. They were. They had hydroformed aluminum subframes, which is still high tech today.
That's
in
actually really
1996.
cool, yeah.
All of them had it in the back. The 6-cylinder cars had it in the front as well. Like I said, rack and pinion steering on the 525, 528, 530, not on the M5 or the 540. But again, driving that car today, I am stunned at how well they pulled it off. Xenon headlamps, electric sunshades and stuff like that, satellite navigation, 12-way power adjustable seats, all stuff that was available in the E39. They've updated that car just once in 2001, ran 97 to 03. M5 was 2000 to 2003. I've got a 2000, which is kind of weird because it was a technology facelift car, but not an exterior facelift car.
That's perfect.
Which is really neat.
The 90s ones, the 90s ones I actually liked a little bit more than that exact one on the screen.
I chose a 2000 not on purpose, but I was happy to get one because they had a couple things that are they're unique to this one car for this 1 year and this one model.
Other than like what?
Like the M5 is a different gauge cluster because it revs higher and things like that. The early 2000 cars have black gauge faces. All the other M5s have this light blue gauge face, which
and
is
you
a
have
really
the high revving light blue.
I have black.
Oh, okay.
So like I have the first 6 months of M5 production in '99 when my car was made. They had black gauge faces.
Huh.
So my car has that. It's got the old style headlamps. It doesn't have these. It has the old style taillights, but it has body color trim like a late model car does. So it's just it's really strange.
I love things like that. On my Civic, actually, what I'm looking for is I need the weirdest gauge cluster. I want a UK domestic market 1.6 VT, which was the UK version of the SI.
Was it digital?
No.
Oh.
It was...
I had to ask.
It came with a gauge cluster revved to 9,000 RPM, which is exactly what I need. It was in metric and it goes to 240 kilometers per hour.
That's awfully fast for a Civic.
And you can clear it if you do the right engine stuff. You can make that insane. If you put a H series in one of those and keep the line gearing, you can clear that gauge cluster. But then the thing is, it has to be from, I think it was the 89 only, because that was the only year where you could get the high revving the B16.
Okay. What was the head code on that one?
It was just a B16A. Is that the first one? But you would it'd be the B16A engine, but it had orange gauge faces. After that,
I do really like that.
After that, they went to green.
Orange is a great color.
Yeah, I want that just because it looks really cool. I saw one. This dude I used to go.
I assume they're incredibly expensive.
They're not terribly expensive. They're just stupid rare. My friend Renee that I used to go out street racing with, he's got one in his, and his car's orange, and that's why he got it. But and
get it.
He's also got a B16 in his as well. So, but
that would have been really quick.
Yeah, that would have been insane. But
B-series engines are great.
But it was that 1 year only that they did that. After that, they went to green, which like all the other Civics were. It was just the first 2 years because in the UK, it was only the UK that they had the orange. In the UK, you had to get it in orange because you had to, by law, have new cars had to have orange gauge faces.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
I love it when, manufacturers dictate all this stupid crap. This made me think of something from the Minneapolis Auto Show I have to touch on. That i8 Roadster.
Yes.
They finally have laser headlights in this car.
Oh, cool.
In the U.S. Do you know what's not cool? You know that yellow triangle laser warning thing that's on every CD player from the 90s? That's in the headlight facing forward, and it cannot be removed.
I love that.
It's so disgusting. It's just gross.
That's awesome.
No, it's terrible. It's awful.
So, I actually, come to think of it, there's also another variant that I've never personally seen, but rumored.
Okay.
that Civic VT gauge cluster.
Yeah.
You get the exact same one in Greece, but all the lettering is in Greek.
That sounds
even cooler.
So it's orange face, but
orange face, the exact same ones in the UK. I've never seen it. I cannot confirm that, but I've heard rumors that the Greek ones are in Greek. Because I know that Honda would actually switch the lettering from being Latin letters to like Japanese or Chinese or Greek or something. Like I've seen like where
That's
like
just difficult to listen to.
But that'd be so cool to see. So like there's like ones like in like Russian, like they're in acrylic. Like so that'd be so funny to see. Just Greek lettering all over my gauge face.
How fast you're going? No idea.
No idea. It's all in kilometers. It's all in Greek. It's Greek to me.
Liters. I don't know. I think I'm out of petrol. I don't know. It's saying some things.
It's Greek to me. Let's go get some euros.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry for hijacking
no worries.
Civic stuff.
Back to the E39. This also was the body style that started bringing unreliability to BMW. These the 540i starting in 1999 brought us the M62 TU engine, which was the first ever engine from BMW in the United States where you had to worry about it.
Really?
Yeah, the M5 is solid.
What happened
all the
to
6 cylinders, timing chains.
Oh!
Yep. And the variable valve timing's not very good, and PCV issues. They're not good engines. So that was not just the 5 Series. I mean, the X5, the 5 Series, the 7 Series, 99 to 03, just and newer. There were issues with its replacement as well, but don't buy a 540. If you're gonna buy one of these, honestly, find a 530i M Sport and buy that because that is rack and pinion steering. It's efficient, really reliable. Yeah, or an M5, obviously, but the 530 is actually a better car. You're just not gonna make as much money on it.
Yeah.
So that's the E39. After that, we got the the E60. I actually skipped it in the notes.
Oh, which one's the E60?
That's what Gibb has.
Oh, that's all right.
Her car is actually nice. So that was, I'm going to touch on the M5 on that one too, just because it was a V10.
Oh, that is the V10 one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the beauty is, North America demanded so much that BMW sell this car with a 6-speed manual. It originally did not launch with one. That they took the manual out of the M3, shoved it onto the back of this thing, and they sold only us, only the United States and Canada, a 6-speed manual V10 BMW M5. So you want a car that is currently not worth a ton that will be worth an absolute metric ton of money in the future, you go out and find yourself a 2008, 2009. I really hate the internet. I just want a damn picture of this freaking car.
It's the second picture. In.
I don't care. Anyway, go find one with a manual, like 100,000 or fewer miles. This is.
It's not only that; it's a smoking tire video.
I hate myself right now.
Yeah, just leave it like this. We're done.
Okay, fine. There's
you know
the
what they look like?
Yeah.
Back when I used to go out street racing, there was a M. No, it wasn't M5. What was the highest one you could get before you got to the M5? This
545 or 550.
545. That's what it was.
Okay.
I remember it ended with a 5, but it was one that go out street racing with everyone.
Also, really unreliable engine.
Yeah. The guy upgraded from a Prelude.
Okay.
The Prelude had gull-wing doors. It was like built in like the early 2000s, like 2003. So like it was definitely a 2003 looking car.
Okay.
But the thing is he continuously done engine upgrades. So this is about 2011 or so. Mm-hmm. So this like Prelude with like gull-wing doors and like a disgusting body kit on it. And it was like fast as hell. Like it was really frustrating. And then he sold it and he got one of these, and this was pretty quick. Like it did the job. Yeah. It wasn't as fast as the Prelude, but it was quick.
I'm in a 545. I think those were 340 horsepower or something.
That's about what the Prelude was too. Or no, the Prelude was about closer to 4. So he took a little bit of a power hit off the Prelude, but he went from a Prelude to this. It was just like he went from like the most boy racer car to like an adult grown-up car. It was so weird.
The main thing I hate about the E60, this generation of 5 Series, which went from 2004 until 2009, actually maybe even later than that, they had mandatory iDrive. You cannot have one of these cars without that second hump in the dash with the controller. And that controller controls where the HVAC comes out of the vents too. So you have to go into a computerized menu and edit that. So that's really dumb. But anyway, V10 and 6-speed manual, awesome. With rack and pinion.
The one thing I really don't like, I like the. Does this have the taillights that look like a Japanese flag?
There's a car right there.
I know, but when they lit up, like, did they have the little like straight
Facelift,
lines?
yes.
Yeah, the facelift ones.
Yep.
The pre-facelift ones, where I hated the taillights on these. Once I did the facelift, I started liking them because I'm like, Nihon, hi. But then,
Wow.
But before that, I'm like, it did not do it for me aesthetically.
Well, this is a Chris Bangle car, and he's a tremendously polarizing designer.
Yes, I know what you mean. I'm familiar with the name.
So, but then again, Mr. Wags is a Bangle car too.
I know.
So.
I'm aware of that.
Anyway,
that's why, as much as you love Mr. Wags, I don't like his designs.
Oh,
I love Mr. Wags. I like Mr. Wags mechanically. I like the concept.
Good boy.
It was just, if that was designed by Bruno Sacco, even, that would be
so anyway,
such a better
the
looking
E60,
car.
It gave you that stupid iDrive, but it also gave you like radar cruise control, and it gave you adaptive headlights that turn with the steering wheel, and it gave you a bunch of other cool technology nobody cares about. Underneath, same subframes as an E39.
That's good.
Same, so reliable. Other than the V8s, do not buy a V8.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, any BMW V8 after 1999, just don't touch it. These went from the M62 TU to the N62, and the chains were a lot better on those, but they had that Valvetronic system, which didn't use the throttle body anymore. It literally just continually adjusted with an eccentric rocker how far the intake valve lift would open, and it would use that as the throttle body.
That sounds
fascinating
like it's
system, pretty reliable, but
shocking.
And actually, that system doesn't fail. It's all the valve train inside. It's the guides wear out, the seals those things just start cranking oil through the combustion chamber like crazy. So don't buy a V8.
No.
The M5 with the manual is a great collector option if you can find one. If we end up getting a second unit here, I'm going to recommend to my dad that he buys one as a car just to sit on.
Yeah.
Because it's really, those will explode in value. I'm try to keep this short and sweet. We're moving on to the F10 after that. That car is, it's a departure. This one, they ditch. I mean, you can kind of tell just from the diagnostic system in a car what's going to happen. So they ditched standard K-line OBD2 and they went to Ethernet. So this car is an Ethernet car. But you could still get a manual transmission in the M5. I believe you can only get them in the 550i and the M5, and only for a certain period of time.
From the A-pillar back, I like the design of this car so much more. The front end does not do it for me, though.
This, in my opinion, is the last attractive 5 Series.
Yeah. And the front end doesn't do it for me, but from the A-pillar back, it looks really good. I'm willing to accept the terrible front end if the rest of it looks good.
But the first year of this car... That's an E60, sorry. Those aren't that bad. There we go.
The front end looked terrible.
The first year,
looks way better.
The first year of the F10 528i, this was Mr. Wag's engine. It was the naturally aspirated straight 6.
Actually, I really don't like the grill.
It's fine. It's still a pretty good looking car. This is
overall,
we just looked at the M5, okay? So that looks better. There's a reason why we're looking at M5s. But anyway, these.
You know, I feel like BMW's kidney cancer they have on the X7 didn't start with the X7. I think it started here.
No, it started with the F01, so the 7 Series that this was based on. Yep. Those are pretty big.
Yeah.
And again, I think that started in 2010. So the kidney cancer has been real for a while.
Yeah, they really should have, addressed that before it got out of hand.
Yeah, well, nobody cares about the cars anymore.
Now it's terminal.
And I don't even know if I want to touch on the G30 after this.
I just want to bring up a picture of it, please, so we can. At least
well, we're not done bringing it. This was first twin turbo M car.
Oh, cool. All right.
I mean, the X5M had the same engine or whatever. So these are ridiculously powerful.
This is when they got rid of the 10 cylinder.
Yep,
right?
They went away from the V10 and they put a tuned version of their standard road car V8, which is terrible. So these engines last like 60,000 miles.
Good.
And then they carried that forward to the G80 M5 or G90. No, it's G80. So yeah, here's the new M5, which is automatic only, all-wheel drive only, and it's stupid.
That sucks.
So there you go. BMW's dead now. There you go, 5 Series.
Oh, it used to be good.
Yep. Yep. So if you're gonna buy a 5 Series, get yourself an E34 M5, E28 M5, E34 540i M Sport, E39 M5, E39 530i M
How
Sport.
about years? What's the first year of the 5 Series?
1976.
All right, go. And what was the last year of the
Manual.
No, not of the manual. Of the generation before where it was still the E.
Oh, E60 was the last one. So the V10 car ended the E chassis.
And what year did that end?
2011.
So you have 1976 to 2011, which you can purchase a vehicle from.
Correct.
Problem solved.
Yep.
Don't get the V8s.
Don't get the V8s
except for
the
95 through 99.
Through 03 for the M5.
Okay. Well, we're not going to confuse people. We're just going to give V8s 95 to 99, 76 through 2010, manual only, and you're probably going to get a pretty decent car. You stand a very high likelihood of getting a decent car with those rules.
Yeah, and if you have specific questions, hop onto our Patreon page.
Yes.
Become a patron, ask me a question, and I will answer it for you.
Exactly. Now, speaking of this, I want to talk about some design cues that we are not fans of.
Oh, okay. I've got a bunch of designs I don't like in cars.
All right, I'm going to start with one, then you give me one, and we'll go back and forth. My first one, cars, manufacturers are afraid to have a strong roof line.
Mm-hmm.
They never do a straight roof. Like, if I think of all my favorite cars, they all have a strong roof line for the most part. So stuff like, I'm not going to go like into my, of course, 80s cars that obviously have a straight roof because you can't possibly make a curve with a straight line.
Unless you bend your ruler.
Which
is illegal.
Yeah. But like modern cars, that E39 5 Series.
Yep.
Straight, strong roof.
Yep.
Most of the Foresters. The newest one it's kind of running away from that. The Subaru 92X,
Yep.
the Subaru Imprezas had a strong roof line. The IS300s, all of those cars had strong roof lines. Now, if I think of my cars that aesthetically make me want to puke,
Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet.
just the Nissan Murano as a whole, like the entire history of the Murano. The newer 3 Series and 5 Series don't really have that strong roof line.
G30 and G80, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't actually know.
The Civic Type R really does not have a strong roof line.
Still like that car.
You know what? The Mazda 5. I hate the roof on my car. I absolutely detest it. The Maxima. There's a lot of the Legacy have terrible roofs. So.
Okay. I think as long as the roof isn't terribly aerodynamic, you are a fan of it.
Well, no. I mean, you can have an aerodynamic roof and still have a strong roof line. It's all about the angle of the windows.
Okay.
And
do you like or dislike the first-gen Mercedes CLS?
The one is super swoopy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at first I'm like, that's interesting. I wasn't sure.
At first,
I felt
I
about it.
loathed that car. Now I think it's one of the most attractive Mercedes of that generation.
I don't really like it. I like the rear window.
Okay.
The way that they designed the rear window.
What about the Audi 7, the RS7, S7,
That's not, can you bring that up?
A7? Yeah.
Oh, that's the one that's like that weird shooting brake sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just like a CLS, but in an Audi.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I dislike.
So you don't like this sort of car?
Well, so this is the thing. I think if they had evened out the back window, and they made the back window even height with the front window, and then they...
Well, then it would be a wagon.
Well, no, because then you could continue your shooting brake from there, or your whatever you call it, cam back from there.
They call them four-door coupes, which is incorrect.
That's not a coupe in any way.
Nope.
There's
That
nothing
is a
coupe about
sedan.
that.
That's a sedan.
Actually, it's got a hatch, so it's actually technically...
Oh, sorry. No, I was wrong. They call it a sportback.
Yeah. So my other thing is with these swooping rear windows, it makes your rear visibility garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And then it makes...
the sun angle for
Yeah.
like reflection and everything. Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible. You can't actually see out the window, and then you have this giant piece of glass that's now like even more expensive to replace, and getting into the back seat sucks. So there's like at that point that works fine if it's a coupe, but I think if you have a sedan, your rear windows should be as squared off as possible. I think.
And this is the CLS we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the thing that gets me I don't like it's the
This pop-up thing?
the rear 3/4 right there. I don't like that it swoops. I feel like it swoops down too much. Like it looks like they designed a 3 Series. And, like they made the clay model and then they like
Sat on it.
I no, like it was left next to a sprinkler or something. It got all droopy.
Okay. Again, that's how I felt about that car when it first launched. But now, like I look at a CLS, I'm like, it's just got better lines than like the E class or the S class of that day.
Yes, of the day. I don't know. I don't like the taillights on it. The roof line really just bothers me a lot.
Okay.
It's really that roof line, I think. I think I would probably be a much better fan of that if it had a stronger roof line.
I'm starting to notice a pattern with what you're saying. So.
Yeah, but it's like the thing is like that Audi RS7. Like it has a lot going for it. I'm a really big fan of the.
Just realized I wasn't even showing this on the stream.
Oh jeez.
Now I am.
I really do like the strong belt line of the car.
Yeah.
But it's the roof line that just I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't even do it. The RS is another car that I really like that is ruined by the roof.
The GRMN.
Yeah, but like, if like you want like, an example of something I really really like that's got a strong roof line, the 2nd generation Celica Supra. I love the roof on that.
That's a ruler roof.
It's a ruler roof, but it's because
that's a great term actually.
If you compare that to the 300ZX 2+2 of that era, which they did not have a strong roof line. The Celica Supra looks way better because it was meant to be a 2+2 and they made the roof properly. So that's my thing that just kind of gives me automotive cancer.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what is your thing that you just cannot stand in modern cars?
I am trying to pull up a photo because I was at the auto show and I noticed these. In a lot of Mercedes and in Lincolns, they are laser-cut stainless steel speaker grills. They are usually in the higher-end sound systems for cars, and they look so bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
I get that.
And they're going to date like crazy.
And we were talking about this before the podcast, and I was saying, like, these bother me. I don't like them. But I feel like for somebody that's, like, super into cars in the future of this era.
This is going to be the gotta-have-it product.
This is going to be, to somebody that likes cars from the 2010s, it's going to be the same thing as gradient headlights to me, or gradient taillights to me for cars from the 80s.
Oh, God.
It's just that really of-the-era thing that you could never possibly do on a modern car. Like, gradient taillights on, like, the Mercury Topaz and the Grand Marquis look terrible
and the Ferrari
in the 90s.
348.
Yeah, they look terrible in the 90s. But on a Testarossa or a Pulsar NX, like, they look great. So that's just one of those things where that's going to be, you are right. It's going to be, do Maserati use these?
Probably.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they didn't, because every single car they make is very of the era. So.
And I'm trying to remember what the name brand is that, most of the Burmeister. That's what it is. Burmeister. I called it Behringer earlier. That's what Mixer is.
Well, actually, I think Bang Olufsen is really guilty of that too.
B&O does. I think they do okay. They have obviously really good soundstage, but they've got the speakers that actually motorize out of the dash.
On some cars.
Point at you? Yeah,
on
cool.
Audis, they do the fancy schmancy thing. I'm just like,
Fancy schmancy, yeah.
What
movie was that from? Fancy schmancy.
No, that was from. Oh, that's
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, the German guy.
Digging his own grave. Oh, I'd like America. Fancy schmancy, yeah. Do you have any other models?
Oh, yes. There's the one that is just bothers me. Grills.
Oh, yeah, me too.
The grills on cars today.
And how they're fake as.
Well, I mean the front grills, not the vents, but the actual front grills.
I call all those grills.
No, because that's a separate thing that I have an issue with. But like can we look up the Avalon TRD?
I'm scared.
This car is the most guilty of it. Like, it used to be the Lexus Predator face, but this one...
No, the spindle grill.
Yeah.
Oh, why did you do that? Okay.
And images.
Thank you, Ryan. I definitely wasn't going to click on images myself.
Let's click on that YouTube one. That should be a large enough thumbnail. That's only, hey, right click it. Oh, because I'm going to play a YouTube video.
It's fine. I have it muted, so.
Yeah, but we're not going to actually get a look at the grill. You're going to look at the other things about this car that I actually like. Yeah. You're not going to get a good view of it.
Nah, we will.
No, you won't. You're going to waste the entire episode. Just, you have the ability to right-click on these pictures. Right click.
I did.
No, no.
I right-clicked it.
You opened it in a new tab. Right-click and then open image.
Copy image location. Where's that? There it is. Let's try this. Thank you, audio listeners, for
standing
by.
There you go. Now,
wow, that's really disgusting. That's all blocked off.
Yes, they have these huge grills, like implying that you have to have a massive grill for performance. You know what a big grill reminds me of? A Peterbilt. It doesn't look like a performance car. Because the thing about, like...
They make fast Peterbilts.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like, look at the Murcielago. That's a way better performer than the Avalon.
Yeah.
And those grills are itty-bitty.
They're tiny. And the ones in the back, they
actually
close
are
them
the
up.
grills.
Yeah.
They're itty-bitty. These, like, they just look terrible.
We don't want active shutters. We want active batwing ducts.
And it's really frustrating. It breaks up the body lines of the car. It looks like you're driving a car without a bumper on. Yeah,
it does kind of look like your bumper fell off and you're looking at the core beam inside.
Yeah, and it's just it looks awful. It's impossible to keep clean. It's just terrible looking. The Yaris of all the modern body style Yaris looks terrible as well. Big grills, they gotta take a hike because
big grills need love too.
Well, it's like I think it's lazy design actually. Because instead of designing a pretty bumper, you're like, I'm just going to make a grill. And then you just make the grill as big as possible. Instead of being able to like make like, all right, how do you make this bumper look good? Like that doesn't exist anymore. Another thing is actually committing to having a bumper on your car is another thing that I will add on there as well. Because like your 5 Series looks great. The EF Civic looks great. I don't know, Toyota Camry from like 1997 looks great because it had a bumper on it.
As long as you're not talking 1974 DOT crash bumpers.
No. But there's like, having a defined bumper and
one that's pre-pedestrian safety rule crap. Because like even like looking at the Fit yesterday, that thing sticks out like 9 inches below the headlights in the bumper, and it's just not good. And it's because you want to kneecap pedestrians and wipe out their feet first, because it's better for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to car kneecap somebody, a Countach is a very safe pedestrian car.
No, that shins you.
You're trying to hit the kneecaps.
You want to knock them out at the knee.
Oh, so you break their legs and cripple them?
No, it's supposed to wipe you off your feet, so you like face plant onto the hood, basically. That's safer.
And then go over the car.
Depends on how fast you're hitting the pedestrians.
And then they land on their face.
Okay, I want to talk about LED running lights.
Oh, God, those need to take a hike, especially when they're separated.
Like multiple clusters of this crap now. I'm just like, dude, no, just stop. You're done.
There's a difference. I'm not talking about, like, I assume you're not talking about, like, the edge lit, like, plastic, but the actual showing the LEDs, right?
I'm talking about all of it. It was fine in the early 2010s when they came out with this crap.
Just to make sure, I just want to see Subaru Square C headlight. Can you just bring that up real quick? So those are what you're talking about. That's it. That's the it.
Just any company that does this crap, just stop. Just stop. It's fine. It's of the era. It's like the laser cut speaker grills are going to be this decade. Just leave those in the past. Stop it.
I think that
small little LED strip, fine.
This would have looked really good on cars from the 90s if they kept the same design trend that they used incandescent bulbs for.
Yep.
So, like, on the CG Accord, the 97 or so Accord, 99 Accords, those ones where they had this, like, the turn signal, and then the turn signal extended beneath the entire headlight.
Okay.
they had like a incandescent bulb on like the inside, and then like a series of mirrors to try and get the light to go all the way around it.
Okay.
And it didn't really work. And you just had this like awkward bulb at the inside, and then just like some orange stuff.
BMW came out. They were actually the first company to do daytime running lights that looked good. And they were the Halo lights in 2001.
Yeah,
and these were
now they're on everything that looked terrible.
I know. Now I wish they had never done it. But these, yeah, it's in the stream. They did this with DDE, which is acrylic tubes that are notched and then heated up and then bent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the light is able to refract, basically pull through each one of these things.
Yeah,
to give a nice even light.
you edge light the acrylic
well,
tube. Yeah.
Yeah, it is technically edge lighting. Yeah,
it's edge lighting. Yeah.
So I like this. This is good, but like pure nasty white like LED like the 6000K. I hate that. I like this warm crap.
Yeah, the warmer looks better.
So I don't know.
But can we just look at the CG Accord just so just type in like a CG CG Accord headlight. Let's see. Really any one of those should work as long as you see the front end of it decently.
Stock headlight would be good. I like the CG Accord.
Yeah, I think it's a very pretty car.
I like
the
back
right
end.
here, that's a perfect example.
This one?
Yeah, and then if you could just right click on the picture and do the image location, so you actually get the real picture instead of having.
Why does image search not just do that when you click on it?
I know, right? Anyway, so you see that orange piece at the bottom of the headlight?
I sure do.
There is a bulb on the inside near where the high beam is, and there's a bulb way out underneath the turn signal.
Okay.
And then the rest of that, they tried to reflect it and it just didn't work and just got dimmer.
These look like aftermarket headlights.
No, they're modified stock ones.
Oh, jeez.
But that all that orange stuff should be lit up. And I think if that was edge lit acrylic and orange,
that would look way better.
Would look
Maybe it's just the color temperature I have a problem with. Because like
color temperature is a huge thing. You know what? That's gonna be my next beef with modern cars.
Okay.
Is why the hell does everything have like a 12K headlight on it?
I don't know.
Like you have these like LED like fog lights on top of the headlights that are more in the way of your eye, and then a 12K, so the fog lights only make you more blind.
And they don't light up the road as well.
No, they don't. There's nothing wrong with a yellowish headlight.
The peak is like 3000K or 3200.
Yeah,
it's around there.
That's why I have yellow fog lights on my car. I don't want to glare
If the Model
people.
S ever blows up its HID capsules, which I think it will, because it auto headlights all the damn time.
Perfect. You'll put in 3K?
I'm gonna put 3K.
That's gonna look really tight.
Yeah, it's gonna look way better. So I'm gonna do that.
So, yeah, I think those are some things that are really, really irritating.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's making me irate.
Okay.
Let's talk about springing in Minnesota.
Yes.
How is your Cressida doing, project-wise?
It only has 4 inches of snow on top of it.
Nice,
right now.
not
so
bad.
It's almost there. I got Jana's car in the driveway.
Okay.
So once I put the new automatic into the Cressida, just to get it drivable, so I can actually enjoy it. My super wheels on. Jana's car's gonna go under the knife, so I'm really excited.
That's gonna be the Carby setup.
Yep, it's gonna go B series first, and then if I can find a cheap B series wiring harness, I might just throw it in as is. But if I can't, I'll throw it on carbs. I want to get that car like drivable as quickly as possible. The biggest hurdle on that is I have to make a custom seat for Jana.
Oh,
because she's kind of short.
She is a little short.
So I need
diminutive stature.
I need to move this. Luckily, I love bending my knees when I'm driving.
That's weird.
I always have my knees bent when I'm driving. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, makes sense. I don't drive straight-legged.
Yeah, no, like I'm like a Type 2 like van. I'm okay with that level of knee bending when I'm driving. So I'm okay with driving.
bust knees.
Which is it's comfortable, but it's fine for me because now Janet can actually push the clutch all the way down. So that's gonna be the big thing is I'm gonna have to get the custom seat made for her.
Or at least rails.
Yeah. Well, we're doing the Prelude seats as well because they're comfier.
Those are very comfortable.
And they're very, very cool.
And very cheap.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you get them at junkyards.
That's what I did for our first jump car, and we didn't end up using them, but
yeah,
I paid $19 for a perfect pair of.
Well, I got these ones because they ended up being brown. I thought they were black. They're like super dark brown. As I put them in my Civic, and I looked at them in the light, I'm like, this is useless.
These are worthless. It's a brown.
And so I ended up just holding on to them, and Jan has a brown interior in her car, so
Perfect.
throw them in. So
Set.
they are
Game match.
so comfy. So I'm really
those
excited
are
for that.
4th gen Prelude seats are
So the first thing is going to be probably the transmission and the Cressida. It's
stupid cooler lines.
I really just hate getting underneath that in my garage. I just because I know I work at an auto shop. I can just get at the shop and do the transmission swap in like a day.
Yep.
And I have to do it underneath the car. It's be like 2 days. It's ruined my.
At least 2.
It's gonna ruin a weekend.
Yes,
I
it
just
will.
know that.
Yes, it will.
And I really value my weekends. I do not want to ruin it by doing that. So
That's fair.
there's a chance I might just take Jana's car and address the brakes first, and then maybe register the Cressida again and limp it down the road
Before it
to my shop.
falls into the 5 years, I think, of non-registration in Minnesota, where they like wipe it from record.
My Civic's still on records.
yeah,
Well,
I
I
think
guess
we talked
it's
about
got
this.
collector plates. That's why.
Yeah, I think that probably is what it is. Yep.
Yeah. So the Cressida's got plenty of time before then. So I just put collector plates on everything because I don't want to buy hundreds and hundreds of tabs.
Yeah, I do it on as much as I can typically, but I've got more and more shit these days that isn't old enough. So.
Yeah. So.
But before you came down here, I took out the M5, and I took that to get gas on it because it was like below the last 0 notch on the gas gauge.
What's going on with your 1602?
I don't have the wiring harness for it because Aaron Stokowski has it in his car in Cambridge, and he works out of state. So my plan, once the snow melts in Stillwater, is get the O2 down here. Once either the GL or the Fiat go away, because right now this place is at capacity. It's full. I can't do anything. Once the O2's down here, if I can't get the harness by then, I'm either going to throw the carb back on it, or I'm going to put a micro squirt on it in the meantime, just so I can drive the damn thing.
Dude, can you put a twin carb on that?
Well, you can put DCOEs on it.
That's what I was
Otherwise,
thinking. Like a couple of
there's a
DCOEs would be
Weber.
sick on
It'd
that.
be fine, but I have this Raychem like aerospace wiring harness with a Megasquirt 3 Pro with like all this fancy crap, which is going to be great. It looks beautiful, but it's worthless without the second half of the harness.
Yeah, I get that.
And I spent $400 just on the plugs for this harness.
I'd say throw the carb back on for now.
My carb was no good, so I would have to buy a whole new carb setup for it to make this work.
Can you put a Weber on it for cheap?
I have to buy the Weber compatible manifold to do it.
Can you get an adapter?
It's got a single throat Solex on it from the factory, which I could buy a Solex.
Oh,
throw
what
that
kind of
on there.
Solex?
It's a single crappy one. I don't know. I still
Like a
have the old
picked one, pick 2, pick 3?
I have no clue, Ryan. It's a carburetor, but I want to drive the O2. I cannot believe I didn't get it going last year.
If you can get, because all right, what you can do just to get it running,
Yeah.
you can get like an MP picked, like if it's like a picked 3, which is a like for like about like 2 liter or so engines. If you get one of those, MP makes a knockoff of the original Solex carburetor for Volkswagens. They suck, but if you get a different jet kit from like an actual quality brand, they'll work fine. Because that's what I'm gonna end up doing with the Accord. Is I'm gonna run MP DCOEs and then get a Weber jetting kit.
I mean, I still have the distributor. I still have all. The car did technically run when I bought it, but the
Just
idle
terrible.
was 6,500 RPM.
That's not running.
No, but I know like the ignition worked, and like the starter worked, but I mean, I need to get this other part of the harness because I want it to be nice. So that is there, but I mean the order of operations, like I gotta part the old element out, but like the O2 needs to go.
That's
here
louder than I
first.
thought it would be. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I don't think the microphone picked it up very well, but lots to do. The M5's on the lift now, actually, and I've got a bunch to do there. Oh, I looked over, and I thought the front bumper was like hanging off from those chunks or something. I'm like, oh.
No, it's just a black. That's not the same thing. I like looked over twice, like, oh my god, no.
I'm like, what did I bump on the test drive getting gas today? Yeah, I took that in the 1M out, but there's so much here.
You gotta buff those headlights too.
I'm going to replace them.
Those are some poverty-looking headlights.
They're beyond saving. Yeah.
Yeah.
I buffed them last year, and it
I'm
helped
not really
a little bit. But
not one to talk, I should say.
Again, it was hard because those headlights are for 1 year, one model. I found a pair in nice condition from separate locations.
I would honestly just buff those for now.
No. I'm not on that car. that car is going to be done nice.
Well, no, I mean until you can get the nice ones. So.
I buffed him last year. It helped for like a couple of days.
Did you use like actual buffing kit, or did you seal them and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, and that still turns out.
Yeah, you have to wet sand them once they're that far gone, and I'm not doing that.
Why don't you wet sand them? It's fine.
I don't want to. I have new headlights in the trunk.
Oh.
I've already
you
bought
actually
all
have
this
them.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you actually
The
bought
trunk
it.
is completely full of all the things to make
That would be
car
the
nice.
first thing I would do, because that's ruining that car right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because right now it looks like it's from northwest Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Like some drug dealer has it.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like a 528 with a freaking M5 bumper on it right now.
I would say 540 Nicosil blowing oil out the back.
Nah, these were all alley still. But
No, I mean that's what it looks like with those headlights.
but the thing is solid. I'm happy about that car. I cannot believe how good it is to drive. But
I've been in one. And they are very good cars.
I don't know how they did it. It is greater than the sum of its parts. It's like the 1M. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it's one of those very, very, very good cars. It is better than the sum of its parts. And that's awesome. On my van, I'm going to be doing need to get tires soon. I'm really dragging my ass on this one because I really, really don't want to put tires on these like bent ass factory wheels. And I'm holding out, hoping that like there's gonna be like a cool set of wheels on like, Facebook Marketplace or something that like aren't horribly expensive and are 17s. It's just like this is exactly why I hate modern cars.
Okay.
Because like I really want to get a set of decent wheels for my van, and like any set of decent 17s is like $1,500. Whereas like if I want to get some like decent wheels for my Civic, like I'm like haggling for $500. Like I'm trying to get down from there for like a set of Mugans. It's just like frustrating.
What you should do, that's 501 14.3, right?
Yeah, I should convert to
Get
4x140.
no.
Or 4x114.
Get some like stock Tesla Model 3 wheels just to troll people.
Those actually look good.
They do without the aero covers, and they're cheap.
Really?
Nobody wants them.
Oh yeah? Where do you find them? Just like Tesla groups?
join a Tesla for sale group or something on Facebook.
Yeah, I might be about that. What? They're 17 by what? Yeah, I might be into it. That'd be really cool.
Cause they're not bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe I'll tell Trig to make me some like 5x114 to 4x140 adapters.
Oh my god! Some people just want to watch the world burn.
That'd be me. I think that's gonna be our bombshell. I want to watch the world burn. So
sounds good.
Thank you very much for listening to us babble on for an hour and 20 minutes of your life.
Ah, it's like Babylon.
Yes, Babylon.
Perfect.
Jan's screensaver is currently a centaur of Bill Murray doing the little finger touch thing. Like
oh,
on the
my
top of the
Lanta.
Sistine, chapel with...
no wonder that computer has no more resources. It's rendering Bill Murray all the time.
Yes, exactly. So that's on that bombshell... Stop it! Nobody cares about you! On that bombshell, I think we should go get the bagpipes. Thank you for listening to us, and have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday, guys.